Hey everyone, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. Alright, let's talk about a new app that a developer created to get you access to your T-Mobile gateway. Now this one is the Arcadyan KVD, but it works on all three of the current 5G gateways. That's the Nokia trash can, the gray cylinder. That's the Arcadyan KVD21, as well as the Sagemcom 5688W, which looks similar, black, kind of squarish, rectangular prism thing. So this works with all of them, and I'm going to go through and show you how you get it. And it works on pretty much all devices: Apple, Android, Windows, and Macintosh, as well as Linux. And it's on GitHub, which means if you're a developer, you know what it means. If you're not, you probably don't know what it means. But it's out there for people to mess with and try. So it's completely free to download. It is in a kind of like early release or testing phase, but it does work and they are updating it. If you have T-Mobile home internet, you know the struggles that there's really no settings available in the T-Mobile home internet app that they provide other than changing the Wi-Fi name, and you can separate out the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, but you cannot turn off the Wi-Fi completely on most of their gateways out there. And now on my channel, I do cover actually how to adjust these settings with a PowerShell script on your computer, but it is more complicated. So the app is certainly easier than the PowerShell script, which was actually user provided to me. So I didn't actually create the PowerShell scripts myself, but I covered them on the channel. So this is definitely a much easier way. And I do thank my viewers that did reach out to me and say, hey, do you know about this hint control app? And the answer is yes, I did actually know about it, and I just hadn't made a video yet because I've been busy. But let's go through, and for me, I'm going to use an Android. I'll also show it on a Windows computer, and it is a little bit maybe tricky or not obvious how to install it on Windows, so I'll show you how to do that as well. But let's go in here and show you the app itself. Okay, so on an Android, it's the easiest, and that is you just go into the Play Store and you type in hint control, and it will show up here. You can see that it's released by Zachary, and it gives you a couple little pictures here that give you a idea of exactly what it is. And it shows you here it's early access. It shows you it was last updated June 22nd, and I'll show you later on the GitHub. There's actually been like 20 different releases, so certainly still active, and he is updating it with different updates. So you can always check back to make sure you have the latest and greatest. But you just install that onto your Android, and then it's easy as any other app to then open up. So when you do that, obviously you need to be connected to your gateway. Now it does not have to be connected via Wi-Fi. That's what I am right now. But obviously if you're turning off your Wi-Fi, then you cannot connect to it via Wi-Fi. So if you have an Android phone or tablet like I do here, the easiest way, most direct way at least, is to use a USB-C to Ethernet adapter, and I plug that into my tablet and then I plug that in the gateway, and now I have a hardwired connection. You can also actually connect through a router, so if you have your own personal router that goes to this, so long as you don't have any specific blocking of the traffic, like very strict firewalls, you can typically actually still connect to the gateway through your router. So you can be connected to your router with Wi-Fi, and then it'll still work. But just know you want to be connected to it before you open up the app, and it checks to make sure it's connected. Then you obviously need to type in the password. Now the password is on the sticker on the back or the bottom of it. There are periods between the password words on the newer ones. This one is the Arcadyan KVD21, and so it also has the periods. I think the Nokia one does not, if I recall correctly. But do know that there are little tiny periods that some people miss, and they are case sensitive as well. Alright, and now you can obviously tell it to remember the credentials, and for me, I'm not going to do that actually because I have multiple gateways that I actually want to connect to, so I'm going to have to not remember them. Alright, the advanced is interesting because it allows you to change the gateway address that it's searching for, as well as the username. To my knowledge, you cannot change the gateway address, but I'm going to go in here and see if I can learn anything separately here that perhaps you can. So once we have that set up, we just log in, and now it's showing you your connection. Now I'm down in my basement without a booster on for T-Mobile, so I get really poor signal down here. So don't worry about that. But what it does show you here is lots of different informations about your signal, which band you're connected to, as well as which cell you're connected to. So there's a couple different cell numbers that are helpful from locating your tower. You can go into cellmapper.net and help locate your tower. Now I have lots of videos out there on T-Mobile Home Internet on my channel, so you can go there and you can look through some playlists like T-Mobile Home Internet playlist, and you can see some more details of how you learn more about these signals and how to find your tower, all that other good stuff. Okay, so when we look through here, obviously it tells you your software version, what your model is, all that kind of information is all in here, and shows you. And then I can look at my clients. Now you can see I have 2 clients. I have this this tab and my desktop connected to it right now. It gives me the IP addresses of those devices, both in IPv4 and IPv6. On the Wi-Fi, you can see here, this is where you can see I only have the 5 gigahertz radio turned on, so I'm not emitting any 2.4 gigahertz out of this right now. I do have band steering technically on, but obviously if only one gateway or only one radio is on, then it doesn't do any band steering. And then here you can change your SSIDs. I can also delete that SSID if I wanted to here, or I could change it and add new ones here. So I can add a new one, define the SSID, the password. You can change the encryption type by clicking on those little bubbles there. And you can tell if you want it to be a guest or hidden, and if you want it to be 2.4 or 5 or both out there. So that's the settings that you have for this Arcadyan KVD21. The settings for the app itself is kind of interesting because there's an auto refresh, which is helpful because that means it's going to refresh the cell signal string. So I could see that coming in really handy if you're trying to place your gateway and you wanted to get updates on the main page of what your cell metrics are. So your cell signal strength, your signal to noise ratio, those are all good things that you want to kind of watch and see how they change when you move it, or if you're adding an external antenna, which I have videos of how you do that as well. So if you wanted to support Zachary, since obviously he's doing this for free, at least for this app here, you can go into the Patreon link right here under the About, and you can even donate to his cause and help him out there. I don't think you can even rate the app on the Play Store because it's in the beta early testing stuff. But otherwise, I'd give him 5 stars for the effort here and the ability to quickly and easily have an app that goes in there and does this. Now, let me show you real fast on a computer if you wanted to do that, and we'll talk about some other things. Now, if you wanted more settings in this, because this is just the limitation that I've found as well, is there's not a lot of ability for us to easily change some of their other settings. But if you wanted more settings and adjustability, band locking, tower locking, that kind of stuff, you really have to go to a third-party gateway or router that's out there. And I have covered lots of those out there. My favorite one is the Chester Cheetah gateway right now, but there's more coming out, both from Chester Tech Repairs and other companies. So I try to keep my eyes open for which ones are best out there. But be sure to click the links down below and learn more about those as well. Alright, so I will provide a link in here for this GitHub page. Now, he has several different GitHub repositories or, apps that he's basically created. And in the main, it's called actually Arcadyan KVD21 control. It obviously has been changed to hint control to cover all of the different ones, but that's still the name of the repository there in Git. You don't need to worry about that. The only thing you need to look at is going over here to releases. So I click releases. This now shows you all the different ones. You can see that the current one, the latest one, is 1.6.0. But there are the previous ones in there, and then obviously I'm assuming there's going to be newer ones. So I can link to maybe this page directly that you can get to it, and then all you have to do is find the correct. It's called asset, but you want to look for the zip files and look at the name. So obviously this one says Mac, and there's both an Intel Mac and AMD processor Mac that you want to pick based off what type of Mac you have. Then there's the Windows one, and then there's Linux here as well. So for me, I am doing Windows, so I just download this zip file here. That puts it on my downloads folder on my computer. I right click it, tell it to extract, and then it's going to open up this folder here. And again, it's maybe a little bit confusing because you don't see an app right away. There's a couple ways to quickly find it. I actually just typed in .exe and had it go in there and find the hint control exe. But it also shows me that it is in there under the bin folder. So I know that I can tell you, since I already know where it's at, that's in the bin folder, and then you can look for that icon there. And now when I open that up, I need to make sure I'm connected first, and if you're not, it opens up a black window. Oh, I guess the first time you open it up, you get a error message that, like the Windows Defender security protocols. It says we want to stop a app from running, and you can click more information and click run anyways to give it authority to go ahead and actually run. And so once you tell it to go ahead and run, it opens up a black command window briefly, but then it's going to open up this hint control. Now if you're not connected to it, it does a spinning wheel, and then it does say that there was no gateway found. So again, this looks very similar to the phone one, and you have the same options there as far as advanced, but I just need the basic one. And then here it shows you it's basically the exact same thing as the app, just in a Windows window instead of on your phone or your tablet. So very simple, very straightforward to use, and it all works. So if you have any questions, of course, you can put them down in the comments below. I try to answer them. If you have specific questions for the app itself, this hint control app, obviously you probably want to reach out to Zachary directly for those. But otherwise, I'm happy to help, and thanks for tuning in. Be sure, if you find any other features or unique things with cellular home internet, please reach out and let me know. Thanks.